Hello everyone and welcome to another standard video. Today we are going to be building a rotation-proof shell for a Landfall burn deck. Now what this deck aims to do is use the desert cycles to essentially deal as much damage as we possibly can to the opponent's face. To achieve this we're using things such as Outcaster Greenblade, Joint Exploration, and Kellen to ramp us. We have a bit of a combo with Free Strider Lookout where our lands will commit crimes, which will let us get more crime lands, and Spelunking to make sure our lands all come out on tap. We have some finishers, some of the classic ones like Doppelgang and World Soul's Rage to pay our large amount of mana into, or things like Tyvokeem, which essentially let us pump all of our land drops into massive burn spells. As a top end, we have some things like Colossal Rattleworm to flash out, Ill-Timed Explosion for board wipes, and Oko just for committing crimes and creating some blockers. So we're going to try this out in best of one. I'm a bit skeptical as the deck plays a bit slower, so I'm worried that the best of one meta will outpace it, but we will see if this deck is worth the wildcards. Is this a keepable hand? Not particularly. That's a bit better. We can keep that. Fighter Deserts. Hopefully we can draw some red mana. White. I bet you it's Boros. It's always Boros. Never mind. Someone's playing Control. I feel like I never see Azorius Control players anymore. You're gonna counter my Kellen. Sure, that is fine with me. Go right ahead. To be honest with you, I don't even know how this deck plays into Control because I never see people playing it. We'll just pass for now, because they'll probably no more lies our Free Strider Lookout. We want to hold up for as long as we can. So we'll try to get them to burn a counter on that. Nope. No counters. I'm going to discard. Looks like they're kind of screwed on mana here. Well, I mean, I guess we'll try to go for it, right? They didn't have any way to stop that. Ah, they are probably on the artifacts deck. They just had one counter spell. Sure. Down to 10. Our lands are doing work. Okay, we'll get lost the Free Strider Lookout. That is okay. It served its purpose. Synthesizer, yep. That makes sense. This card can go off really fast. And we don't particularly have any ways to remove it. So we just need to deal the last 9 damage before they can do much. Is this enter the battlefield? 3 or greater enters the battlefield. Okay, I need to get to that because that is hilarious. Okay, we will decline. Play that out. Play with the bandit. So, with any luck, we're going to be able to use their synthesizer against them and just do it better. Okay, keep another ill-timed explosion. So, we have... So it's 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. Celestus, sure. They blow up the bandit. No, they're not going to blow up the bandit. This is 1 mana, right? Sure. So we can do those, and that should net us 4 creatures. They don't have a Spell Pierce. I doubt they play Spell Pierce, but that would do it. No, okay. So we'll keep 1 of these. That'll keep all the mana values, and it'll make us 8 creatures. Oh. Alright. Do you have a way around 10 creatures? I don't think they will. I'm just going to swing now. They'll probably want to leave the chump up. Or if they kill it, that's also okay. Okay. Do they have a board wipe? I mean, it's possible. They're in the colors for it, right? But they need it now. GG. Trying to make some Landfall burn work in standard. And it's a pretty solid hand. We have our pieces. Actually, we have everything that kind of makes the deck tick here. If we can survive to play them. Okay. Keep. Looks like Bulgari, which means we're about to get hit with the bat this turn. Up the beanstalk. That is not what I expected them to play there. Are they on some sort of control deck? Oh no. Not Ancient Cornucopia. I hate this deck. I actually despise playing against this deck. Okay, we'll Kellen. We'll ramp. Sure. Daily cover up. Yep, which means they have a sweeper in their hand. They're going to start gaining ungodly amounts of life. They're ramping into a Vault-Born Tyrant, I'm sure. Played the Green Blade. Cycling a Pest Control, interesting. I mean, it certainly is not going to do much against our decks. It's probably good for them to do. Play down a Backwoods. We've got a 6/7, but they'll almost certainly have removal for it. March. Sure. So pretty much our biggest hope here into this deck is to draw a Doppelgang. Yep. So with the Doppelgang, we can actually, hopefully, make them lose at their own game. It's ideally what we would like to do. I think we Free Strider here. And try to find a land. We'll join Exploration first. We're going to try to find a land off of this. We'll play the Free Strider and then ramp with it. Okay. Here's Heath. Play down the Free Strider. They probably have a Shieldred's Edict in hand. I had to bet. Play down the Heath. We'll ramp. Get another one. Lots of deserts. Is it enough? Okay. Opponent thinking which of their 4 removal spells they would like to use. I bet you they have a Wandering Emperor. I don't think we want to... What we want to do here, I think, actually, is play with the Kellen. Because the Kellen is going to make them board wipe. Which, obviously, we don't want to lose our creatures, but we have to get them to burn them at some point, so... Free Strider. We're not going to swing into the Wandering Emperor. We're going to make them deal with our board another way. If we want to blow up one of our lands, that's totally fine. We got lots of basics to replace them. Okay. That is okay. We'll just toss out a basic forest. So, best case scenario here, they don't board wipe. We get to swing with the Kellen and blow up the Ancient Cornucopia. I don't think that's going to happen, but it would be ideal. Farewell. That's disgusting. What are they blowing up here? Creatures, enchantments, graveyards. So they're not getting rid of artifacts. We will crack the clue. Sure. I mean, that blows out their beanstalks, right? They don't get the draw anymore off of that. We'll play out another Kellen, and we will keep threatening the Cornucopia. We have a Rattleworm, too, here in hand that we can flash out. Second Cornucopia. I mean, if we get to Doppelgang here, we're going to gain infinitely more life than they're going to gain. Okay. Flash out a Rattleworm. I really think they have a Wandering Emperor. So I'm not going to let them use it. Wandering Emperor, sure. You won't get to do anything with it. We'll blow up your cornucopia.
Now you've done it. That's coming off.
Sure.
May your blade strike true.
We will blow up the Wandering Emperor.
Years of training.
Hit him for 3.
For this?
We bother playing anything out here? Because they're just going to wipe, right? We pass. White Sun's Twilight. Going to gain a lot of life. We will exile the Rattleworm. Grab some more lands. We will hopefully eventually hit a critical mass of lands here. Until that happens, we will play out some threats. Oko will make us an elk. We will pass. Only reason I want to fill up the board a bit here is because if they don't swing, or if they have to wipe with their mites, that's pretty good for us. And if they leave Ty alive, we can pretty much just kill them, right? So, block 2. Oko will die. We will be left with a creature. We just... Hopefully if Ty survives here, we are in like a crazy good spot. Okay. So, what can we do with this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 minus 2 minus 6. So 11 minus 2, we're going to have 9 left, which means we can do x equals 3. We want to spend probably 3 of that. We'll deal 12 damage to their face. Yeah, I think that's what we do. So we spend 3 here. We'll tap Ty. And we will x equals 2 the doppelgang. And... oh, we could have done it for 1 more. That's probably going to mean the game. I almost can guarantee now that's going to be screwing us over later. Deal a lot of damage here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Untap the Hard Bristle Bandit. 4, 4, 4. No attacks. The Wandering Emperor. No. No Wandering Emperor. Okay, so there's a chance. Yeah, we could have killed them if we tapped it for 1 more. That was a big mistake, honestly. Hopefully they don't have a White Sun's Twilight specifically here. White Sun's Twilight, specifically. Yep. All the way back up to 11. Yep. Good game. Oh, if we counted right. If we counted right, that was the win. GG. Oh, that's too bad. Alright, we're here figuring out how many deserts does it take to burn somebody out. Okay, that's pretty solid. That'll get us a lot of deserts. Okay, we'll keep that. Apparently 0 is the answer. No deserts needed. Well, we have the Splunking, we have the Rattleworm. This is a pretty good hand. We'll keep. What is opponent up to? They mulled a 6. Good for us. Demir, not good for us. But we'll deal. Okay. We'll just keep playing tap lands. Silver Scrutiny is pretty good into this. We're going to pretty well empty our hand here, so it's going to be nice to refill it eventually. Splunking. We'll toss out another desert. Next turn, we can play out the Rattle Worms. With any luck, we can blow out the Karavek. So this is probably Outlaws, most likely. Yep, definitely Outlaws. I mean, it's a pretty solid deck. Like, I genuinely think this is a good deck. There's something to be said about firing off the Lightning Helix with their tapped in. I think that's what I'm going to do. It doesn't let us get a free block with the Rattle Worm, but into Outlaws, they might just have a removal spell, so I think I would rather directly remove the Karavek before it starts getting going. Chase, sure. Marchese is pretty good here. Okay, we will pass. So now we're going to try to get the Rattle Worm block. I don't know if it's going to happen, because they, you know, probably have a lot of ways to remove our stuff, but we'll see. Hostile Investigator. Okay, that's good for us here. I think we ditched the land. Simply because the rest of our hand is gas, and we'll probably be able to draw some more lands. Okay. Rattle Worm out. We'll block the Marchesa. We'll pass. Hard Bristle Band-Aid. I mean, that's good. We'll swing with the Rattle Worm. I'm assuming they don't block. And we'll see if we can do it to him again next turn. With any luck, if this goes long enough, we can get a couple Hostile Investigators of our own with Doppelgang. But we will see. Lord Skitter, okay. Are they going to swing into this? I hope they do. Okay, they do. So flash out another Rattle Worm. They did not learn from... Oh, maybe they did. They have a removal spell for it. Yeah. That's good. They're down to 7, though. Which means that we could blow them out in the back of this here. So what can we do here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Minus 2 is 6, so we can get x equals 2. So we just do that. And the opponent is going to have a real tough time getting through this board. Doppelgang is a ridiculous spell. Okay, I take it. I don't think they're going to have a way to deal 8 damage to us here. What's Magda do? Sack 3 treasures, make a 4/4. That's fine. Probably in a good spot here. Okay, they're drawing through. They're looking for answers. At this point, I don't know what could save them beyond having a board wipe. And in those colors, they don't have any board wipes they could play. Good game. Alright. Well, we have the Free Strider. We have mana to cast everything, so that is a pretty solid keep in my eyes. Banano. Okay, so we need to get out stuff for Lightning Helix as soon as possible. Probably means we won't get our Free Strider on curve, but it will maybe mean that we will survive. 6 shot. Sure. Okay. So we have this on curve. Hopefully they burn some pump spells here on the 6 shot and we can just gain back some life. That would be fantastic. Swift Spear. Demonic Ruckus on the Swift Spear, interestingly enough. Permanently... I think it prowessed once, so it's not too big. So we'll blow up the Slick Shot. Take 5. Which is not the best, but we're surviving. If the bandit survives, I might be able to blow them out with the Rattle Worm here. Oh no, I guess that gives it Menace, so it is kind of difficult to do that. Sure. And they do blow up the bandit. Down to 7. We don't have the mana to L-timed explosion. No lands in our graveyard. We can pop the Code Breaker with the World Soul's Rage here. We'll take 4. We can ramp. Almost guaranteed we'll die. We can play the Free Strider. Maybe chump something. Might get removed. I think we play the Free Strider here. If it survives, we can ramp a little bit. We're definitely in a pretty sketchy spot here. I'm almost guaranteeing that they're going to draw something that'll kill us. Play with fire. And that's 5 damage guaranteed. Yeah. Didn't get the lands we needed. GG. Somewhat keepable. It's not the greatest hand in the world. We do have a joint exploration, though, to dig a bit. And every time I don't trust the process that I'm going to draw lands, I mulligan into the worst possible hands, so we're going to trust the process this time. I mean, Hard Bristle Bandit is not a land, but it will give us some mana. Splunking. I might be doing something kind of similar. They're using deserts as well. If this deck wasn't trying to do so many different colors, I would use Arid Archway, but it's just a little bit too spread thin for what we're trying to do. Play down the Bandit. We have 4 mana next turn, so we can play Oko, which is pretty solid. Or we can play the Tie, which is also pretty solid. Okay. Green Blade. They will bounce their desert and reuse it. That is fine with me. So we can play this down. Or we can Splunking. Or we can join Exploration. There's a lot of things we can try here. I think we had to play a bit defensively. Just because of what they're trying to do. So I think for now, we will join Exploration. We'll ramp. We need to match what they're trying to pull off here. Commit a crime. We'll tap for Boros. And we can play the Tie. Hard Bristle Bandit, really good for generating a shocking amount of mana in this deck. I'll swing with the Green Blade. That's gonna hurt a lot, but can't do much about it. We do have the Helix to gain back some life. Spinewood's Armadillo, yikes. Okay. So what we can do here is we can use the... Yeah, I think we use the Tie to boost the Helix by 2. And then we Helix the Green Blade to gain back some life. We get to draw. And then we'll play out and land with Spelunking. Okay, they're gonna hit us down to 9 here. Bonnie Paul, yikes. So what we need to do here, ill-timed explosion is going to deal 4 damage. We need a land off the top. Oh no, we have hard bristle bandit. We're actually good. So we have to wipe the board here. That's okay though. Okay, down to 9. We will use this to boost the damage by 3. And we will ill-timed explosion. We will discard an Oko and an island, I think. Draw a card. Pass to them. So we have World Soul's Rage, which we can use to take out something else. If they have a second Bonnie Paul, we're in a horrible spot. But we can Doppelgang as well, so we will see. Ideally, what we want to do here is play down the Green Blade and just keep ramping so that we can hit a bigger Doppelgang. Opponent really thinking about what they want to do after that board. What? Spinewood's Armadillo. Sure, I mean, that puts a big clock on us. We'll toss down a Green Blade. It'll at least let us chump the Armadillo. What's the ward on that? 3? Okay. We'll Splunking here. Okay. We got another Green Blade, so we can chump again. Chump for now. The next Green Blade will be able to just kill it. Polychronos. Spooky. Okay. Whenever Polychronos dies, make a 3/3 and a 3/3. Okay. Play out our Green Blades. This will at least let us chump for now. We can wipe the 3/3s off the board when we kill the Polychronos. We just have to keep surviving. I should have grabbed a white mana in case we needed to helix something, but... Okay, they're not gonna swing. They have nothing. GG. Alright, so let's go over the deck stats. To record this video, I recorded a total of 15 games, as per usual, and I was only able to win about 6 of those games, giving us a 40% win rate, which is not super great. One of the problems that this deck faces is it gets rushed down very fast by aggro decks, and it falls really hard to mid-range strategies. A lot of the mid-range decks in the format tend to drop these larger creatures, such as Vaultborn Tyrant, or things like Shieldred, which our deck has trouble killing using ill-timed explosion. I think a better version of this deck might use some more direct removal, instead of the burn-based removal that we've opted to use here, and some hard sweepers, things such as Sunfall. Another issue this deck falls into is with all of the tap lands, sometimes its start can be a bit slow. To combat this in the future, I think maybe a larger base of basics would be good for this deck, or some other effects to put lands out onto the battlefield like Kellen. Overall though, the deck is super fun to play, though maybe with its win rate, I think it might need some tweaking before it's worth spending the wildcards on. I want to thank everyone who stuck around to the end of this video. It was super fun to make and super fun to play with some rotation-proof strategies as we approach Bloomburrow. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe. I'm going to continue making more arena content like this and some paper content in the future. Until then, peace.